Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Emma Dolan, just 7 weeks or so away from your British title fight against Shannon Ryan. How are you doing, Emma?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very, very well. Exciting times for yourself with some big fights on the horizon. I know how hard you've worked to get into these situations. How does it feel like it's nearly there?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, I can't wait for June 22nd.
The work that's gone in to get to this stage, you've worked initially on some of the small shows, you've had a bit more attention more recently, maybe in the past year, but this is a big step up to a matchroom show in 7 weeks' time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the graph's been put in. Obviously, on smaller hall shows, having to sell tickets and get your name out there. Yeah, it was a bit more to be said about the last fight. Obviously, we talked sport covering it. It was really good, and yeah, no, back on the big stage now. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to showing my skills.
How do you enjoy the sort of media attention, everything that comes with these bigger shows?
You just got to take it as it comes, haven't you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that fussed by it. You know, it is what it is. But that's it. We'll have a crack. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. It's all part of the game.
The fight against Shannon, we know it was previously scheduled for earlier this year. I think it was on the Indigo card, the next gen card. Just why didn't that happen at that initial point? Was that an injury on your part?
No, no, I got severe chest infection. So I was battling a cough and cold the whole sort of like build up to the fight, but training through it like an idiot, really. But you sort of tell yourself, oh, you'll be all right. And then it just sort of hit on me really hard. Like I couldn't get my training done in the gym, so I couldn't possibly then try and compete or box or anything like that. Like I was that ill, it made it sort of a no-brainer for me to not fight. But I knew the board had ordered the fight, so I knew it would happen.
Was that sort of relaxed you a little bit that even though you weren't able to fight at that point, that it would still happen down the line?
Yeah, like delayed, not denied. I knew it would happen. You know, obviously, I think Shannon wants to fight as well, so I think it was going to be one of them fights that was definitely going to happen. So I sort of put my mind at ease a bit, and yeah.
In terms of your profile, how much could a win in 7 weeks' time do for yourself? Shannon's got a big profile herself, but going on to away soil, I guess it will be with Matchroom and getting a win would do a lot for your career.
Well, yeah, obviously, Matchroom's a massive promotion, so getting the win there is going to completely lift my career up and put me on the big stage.
The British belts, they've been sort of introduced over the last year or so into women's boxing. There's still a long way to go there, of course, but we speak to a lot of the male fighters, and fighting for a British belt is a real landmark achievement. Does it got the same effect in women's boxing, do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think the British title is a phenomenal belt. I've never seen a bad British title fight, so that says a lot. And yeah, it's a belt I've always wanted. But obviously, it wasn't really in women's boxing for a little bit, but it's come now, and there's some brilliant fights that's been ordered for the British title. So yeah, I'm glad to be part of it, and I'll be looking forward to getting hold of it.
Do you think it adds a bit more depth? Because one of the criticisms that's come from women's boxing is between sort of that level where you're a contender and getting to that world level, there isn't quite so much depth. But having things like the British belts may add that.
Yeah, no, I think adding the British title will give you that level of depth. And I think there's more women coming into the sport now. So there's a lot more women turning professional. So that's going to give it more depth as well. Because when the top amateurs and stuff turning over, that's going to add to the game. There's going to be even more females in the sport. So you'll need those different, obviously, titles to move up. You won't be able to just have like 3 or 4 fights and fight for a world title. You'll need to, do it properly, which is good.
How much have you noticed the participation going up in the time you've been involved in the sport?
Yeah, no, loads. I mean, when I started boxing, I was a 9-year-old girl, and like I was like maybe one of the only girls in the gym for a long time. Um, and yeah, as I've grown as an amateur and then to professional, I mean, women's boxing's just grown massively, and it's really good to see.
How much pride do you get from that you've been a very small part of getting girls involved and women involved? Because
Oh,
you
I don't
say
know
you were
about
the
that.
first person in the gym, weren't you? So
Yeah, I know. It's look, women like Katie Taylor and women like that have just completely transformed the boxing for females, and they're doing a great job of it. And then obviously all this next generation coming through, it's good to see.
I've seen you were sparring a little bit with Chloe Watson up in Manchester. Talk me through what the experience like was with Chloe, and I know Ricky was involved as well.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I sparred Chloe a lot of my last camp for the Nicola Hopewell fight. So yeah, no, I know Chloe well. I know Chloe from the amateurs. It's always good to spar, and yeah, no, it's good.
You've got an experienced man in your corner in Carl Greaves, but I'm sure having Ricky watching on adds a little bit extra. Does he have anything to say to you?
Yeah, no, he's impressed. You know, Ricky's a nice man. He's so down to earth, isn't he? Really, for everything he's achieved in the sport. But yeah, no, Carl was really happy as well. So that's all that really matters to me. And yeah, no, it was good.
I know Chloe's possibly got a big fight coming up against Maisie Rose Courtney for the European title. Maisie Rose obviously got a win on Saturday night up in Liverpool. How do you see that one going?
I see Chloe beating her, to be honest with you. Like, I just think styles make fights, and I think Chloe will beat her. But I know it'll be a good fight, and I know they'll both bring a lot to the table. But I just see Chloe winning that. But you know, fair play to both girls for taking that fight. You know, and it's good to see a lot more women in the sport. You got Stevie Levy fighting Tyson Gallagher for the British title. There's a lot more sort of girls coming through at a good stage in their careers, both fighting each other. So yeah, no, it's good to see.
You mentioned Katie Taylor's name earlier. We know she's going to be facing Amanda Serrano on the Jake Paul Tyson Fury undercard. I mean, an interesting decision, it has to be said. An absolutely huge fight. Is it a little bit of a kick in the teeth that it's not a main event in a stadium somewhere?
I mean, probably they've been given the option of like, you can have it a main event at the stadium, but you're going to get paid X amount, or you can have it on this undercard and you're going to get paid X amount. So they've probably looked at it and gone, that's going to go to a bigger viewing audience. We're probably going to get paid more for it. Let's do it there, you know.
What do you think is the biggest fight for Katie Taylor? You think it's that Serrano fight, or is there other options that you think are even bigger for her?
I don't know, really. I mean, the divisions are, yeah, they're heating up. But I'd like to see the Chantelle Cameron fight again, to be honest. I just see that she's just parted ways in Matchroom, so that might not happen now. But the Serrano fight will be brilliant. I mean, the first fight was brilliant. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing it again.
Do you think Chantelle can maybe count herself a little unlucky and not getting that third fight? Obviously, it was 1-1, and people were suggesting that the trilogy was the way to go.
Yeah, no, I think she's a little bit unlucky, but you know, there's massive fights to be made all in around that weight now. She probably, you know, maybe look to fight people like Jonas and Maya, maybe go up and wait and look at them girls. You know, I think the division's thriving, and I mean, you've got all them like Sandy, right, a little bit heavy. You've got like Sandy Ryan, all that lot coming through. So there's some massive fights to be made all around those weights.
With Chantelle now not with Matchroom, is the thought now that we won't see that trilogy fight anytime soon?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I presume that's a lot to do with her maybe leaving, that they couldn't make that fight. But you just don't know, do you? So
That's fair enough. Well, best of luck when the time rolls around. 7 weeks on Saturday, Emma. Really appreciate your time.
nice one, thank you, mate.